It's me.
Yo, is this your car?
It's me, Luv Jones.
This intimidation, maybe you guys started a new job or somebody be trying to intimidate you or something. But look, find joy in the journey, in your journey. Everybody's journey is different. It's like fingerprints, very individual, okay? So, we got intimidation. Let's start with the red oracle deck and see what comes out. It could be a masculine. I could be talking to a masculine. It could be a masculine here trying to intimidate someone. What did he say? Oh, you want to roll with the big dog. He was real muscular and buff. I forgot what show that was on. So anyway, let's see here. What's going on? What's going on?
Alright, y'all.
Yeah. Some of you guys are dealing with a community. There is no sense of community in it. There could even be like some type of entrapment with the 8 right here.
That's me.
It could even be a
Some
hate.
cold
You see
cuts.
that word?
Some
The
cold
letter says
cuts.
hate on it.
I
It look
remember
like a
that.
branch, like a tree, or a branch. But the leaves are breaking apart, like things are flying away from it, flying free from it. There's some type of deep perpetual something here with this community in the reverse.
That's me. That's what it feel like I've been dealing with. It's kind of what I feel like is going on in this community that I've been in Tucker, Georgia. Um, yeah, Claremont, over off in that area. Uh, says this man. That's what's funny. That's what I've been dealing with. A lot of men, mostly men. The intimidation tactics. The mostly men with the intimidation tactics going on. Mostly men following you around and they followers. Of course, you got a certain type of man, and then you have the ones beneath them. They ain't gonna say they're beneath them, but I know the ones taking the orders. You know who they are. You know the ones who are there giving the orders. The ones who act like they are more than what they are. The ones who seem to have this nonchalant attitude, this pettiness about them, and then the ones who are just doing what it is they told to do is what it seemed like to me. So that's what I deal with. A lot of men, a lot of boys who are in the age of a man. A lot of boys who are have bodies of men to a certain extent, and a lot of boys who are men age, but they don't carry themselves like men, and they act like children. I don't know why God brought me back here, to be honest with you. I don't know why I was called to come back here, other than the fact to see my grandson. outside of that, I really don't know why I was called to come back here. And at this point, well, at first I was saying, you don't want to leave. You kind of want to stand your ground, so to speak, with all the drama going on. But at this point, it's like it's better to be around people who are like you. Uh, they say go where you are appreciated, not tolerated. It's better to be around people like you. The random person who come up to you and ask you to pray for them, they ain't gonna be there to help you when stuff go down. And what's the purpose of having all these hidden helpers if ain't nobody gonna stand up? Nobody gonna stand up for you on the front line. People just behind the scenes helping with things that you can't see, but they'll never stand in the front and help. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't know what good that is. Anyway, let's see what's in this energy. Holy Spirit, Archangels, please allow me to channel the messages from the energy surrounding the collective. Okay, let's lay down. I'm not even about to go down there and get it. All right, Spirit guides, ancestors of the highest white light, tell us what we need to know, please, and thank you. I really need to make me some more cards. Let's see. I think they got to my little friend. Look, she didn't have to get out and squeeze. I think they got to my little friend. No, I noticed when I talked to him, he would say, "No, when I used to do Lyft, Uber back then, when I used to do it, I used to have certain people. They would not only put people in my car to make these certain remarks to report certain things as to like trying to get me in trouble. But sorry you broke your leg, Lexi. Hope you feel better and your healing be speedy." Um, and they would not only put people in my car to make false reports on me, to try to make me lose that job, try to have me look a certain type of way, but they would put people in my car who would go out of their way to try to be my friends. And you know when something is genuine and when it's not genuine. You could just absolutely feel the energy. And aside from the energy, I noticed that certain people would get in the car and they would not only overly talk, but they would have these keywords. It's like somebody has told them certain things that I like, certain things that I think all the time, certain things that I believe in, and they would get in the car and they would have these keywords to say as to like try to get my attention. And so a lot of times when they would start, I wouldn't pay it any attention because uh, it would happen more often than normal. And so you don't pay it too much attention. Of course, you don't go out of the way to try to be these people friends. Um, it used to remind me of that. It's like a video I would see come across my Instagram, all my social media pages, when people would say, I'm about to say my dog's favorite word. and they would pretend to be talking to somebody else and saying they dogs, all the dog's favorite words, to see if they could get a reaction. And so that's what it reminded me of when people would get into my car with these so-called what seemed to be keywords to strike up a conversation. I be thinking to myself, these some damn fools, y'all. This is jackass 101, but I'm gonna let y'all talk anyway. And so yeah, I would deal with that type of stuff. So anyway, long story short, my little friend, yeah, this thing in my bra. I put a crystal in my bra, and it's starting to irritate me. Move to the other side. Anyway, I have a friend of mine, like a old somebody I met like back in 2017, 2018, like that. I hadn't talked to him in a while. And so we just started kind of communicating again. And initially, it seemed like things were going really good. I mean, that was really no problem, but I noticed just into certain conversations that we seem to have a whole lot of stuff in common, a whole lot. And I question how much of it is real and how much of it is staged now. Because certain things he would say is like, man, this too much. Like at a certain point, you gotta ask yourself, who telling you to say these things? How would you know to say all of these things that you are saying to me? But like I said, this is somebody I've been knowing since like 2018. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of a doubt. I'm trying to not look at him as if he's one of them. I'm trying to look at him as if he's a person that I can trust. But at the same time, he's saying a bunch of keywords. He's saying a bunch. Remind me of those people from back then who used to get in my car and say all of these things that would get my attention. He says like things a lot. Um, we met up one time. Went out just to have some drinks and talk for a while. Just so happened we just so happened to go to a place. I was in a Uber one day with somebody, and it was Uber because they picked up. It's like a ride share, and they picked up somebody else on the way. And the guy they picked up, he just couldn't stop talking, and he was talking about all the things just like normal, all the things that have been on my mind, certain things that I would think about. Talking, just hitting all the little key points as he talking. And so in my mind, I knew he was one of them. Um, like I say, it's at a certain point, it's like okay, it could be a coincidence, but after you did it so many times, it's like okay, something not right. And so he in the car. First couple things he said, I'm looking at him like, is this really you or is this is this the acting version of you? And so I'm not really saying too much of anything. I'm just observing. I'm just listening to him talk. Um, and he went on and said a few more things, and I was like, yeah, no, somebody telling you to say these things. Not only that, he invited me out to this restaurant. Was asking me what kind of pizza I like, invited me to this place, and I was like, okay, sure. Never had any intentions on going in. Got out where I was going, just so happened to be an Office Depot. And he asked the rider could he wait while he goes in Office Depot too, which I thought was another weird thing. Asked the Uber driver, can you wait for a few minutes while I run in here and grab me some pens? I don't know what that was about. I don't know what that was about, but I thought it was strange. Conversation he had the whole time we riding was strange. The fact that he wanted to get out of where I can get out and go in where I was going in was strange. He invited me to this pizza place. Like I said, never had any intentions on going. And so, talking to my friend that I've been, guy that I've been kind of cool with for a few years now, we decided to go out. Fast forward, he asked me which place I wanted to go to. It was out of this place, out of that place. I said that place. Come to find out, that place was shut down. And so he called me when I was on my way and was like, I just got to the place and it was shut down. So I just went on over here into the other place. You can meet me a little bit further up the street at the other place. Get to the other place. We sitting there having this conversation. Um, just sitting there talking. I look up and who do I see? The guy from the car. The guy from the Uber that I was in, walking around at work. And then it dawns on me, this is the place he invited me to. And so now I'm looking at him like the guy that I'm with. I, I'm like, what are the chances that you would invite me to a place that would be the exact same place? Military person, by the way, ex-military vet. He did 20 years in the military, from my understanding, and then retired. My age, you go into the military right straight out of high school. My age. And so anyway, I'm looking at him like, is this a joke? Not to mention when I got out the car, this particular song that they try to annoy me with, the spiritual stalkers that I talk so much about. I get out the car, I'm walking up to the front to meet him. Somebody come whips in a little nice fancy sports car, and guess what song they're blasting? One of the songs that they try so hard to intimidate me with. You pull up blasting that song. It's a song by Ashanti, by the way. Now this is a man look like a kind of look like a broken version of Rick Ross. So big old dark skinned dude, kind of tall. Pull up in this nice sports car. I don't remember. It could have been a Corvette or something. He pulled up in blasting Ashanti song. Uh, so that threw me off. That threw me off immediately. I'm like, oh, here we go with this again. It's they always everywhere. You can't even go out and have a decent night out without somebody in the background doing weird stuff to try to intimidate you. And so, I didn't mention it to the person I was meeting. I just mentally took a mental note of it, went on inside, and as we sitting down, that's when I noticed the guy from the car. And as I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the hell, man, this is not a coincidence. So eventually I did tell the guy that I was with, this guy that's walking around here, he looks like the manager or the owner or something. I don't know. The one walking around, speaking to everybody, checking up on all the tables. I tell him the story about me being in the Uber with the guy. Me and him talking about different spiritual things. He gets up and goes to the restroom. Evidently, the guy was in the restroom with him, and they done had this conversation inside the restroom. And I didn't know about it, so eventually, he didn't tell me he talked to the guy when he was in the restroom or anything. The guy just so happened to walk by, and me just trying to, not be so uptight like I was. I stopped the guy. I'm like, hey, you remember me? He was like, no. Yes, you do. Stop lying. Anyway, like the one from the Uber. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember you now. Oh yeah, so you did come. Um, So he sat there, a couple seconds, glad you came, da 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 da. Went and moved on to the next table, but my friend was like, I told him we were gonna be back. Whoever it was, I told him we'll be back. You seem to like the place. Evidently, that's one of his places he say he goes to often. I just don't know how so many coincidences occurred. I don't know how there were so many coincidences in that one situation there. So anyway, we leave the place. We steady communicating with each other. We keeping in contact, talking, and I'm just noticing he's saying more and more things that I think about, have thought about, but I've never said to him. That I used to think about a lot before me and him even started communicating again. And so now it got me looking at him kind of strange. Anyway, long story short, I feel like to a certain point he started acting strange. He started asking very specific questions to almost get a very specific answer. And so now I'm questioning who you've been talking to in the background that would make you question these things so specific like you've been doing. Because before, originally I could say certain things and it's not as like I could give a very vague answer to certain questions. And now it's like you're being very specific, like you want to know details about certain things, which makes me wonder who you talking to in the background. Still ain't figured that out yet. Anyway, I notice every time we attempt to get together after that, it's like always something. Either I'm doing something and don't want to, or either he's doing something and can't. And so again, I question, who's controlling certain things? How many people out there? Because what I've noticed is that, and I've been on here 22 minutes. Let me wrap this up. What I noticed is that everybody that I start communicating with, everybody from my past that seemed to come around, since this has been happening, what I notice is it's always like it's like at the beginning, it's this extreme excitement about being around me, about us getting together, about us hanging out again. And then all of a sudden it dies down. So I'm thinking back to people from my other people who I started back talking to, who I reached out to or communicated with when I was in Vegas, and the same thing kind of happened with them. Only we never got together and met out or anything. It started off like he was so anxious to see me, you know, come to his place, and he wanted to do this and do that, to almost being ghosted. It's like him not answering his phone anymore. You're not responding to text anymore. And it's like out the blue. At the beginning, it's like you were doing so much kissing my butt. And then out of the blue, if something happens and you just kind of go ghost. And then when I get back home, when I'm nowhere near where you are and I get back home, he reaches out to me and sends me a text. It's like, oh, my bad, such and such came up, this, that, and that happened. You know, I still want to get with you, call me when you can, da 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 da. Like we supposed to have this relationship, like this friendship now after you ghosted me. After you ghosted me. And so anyway, after this has happened on a few different occasions, I kind of question now. Are these people, whoever it is in the background, doing things to sabotage my relationships with people? Or Are they doing things? Like, are they saying things, communicating? Because I know I have people going behind me in certain places. I need to go and get my clothes now. Now I got people going behind me in certain places who are spreading rumors and telling lies to make me look like a certain thing. But are y'all going to search out these people who I'm communicating with? Or is it something like spiritually that you're doing to cause these reactions when it get down to certain things? Because it's like they is whoever I associate with is never around long, and it's because of some weird stuff that they start doing all of a sudden. So it feels almost like somebody in the background trying to keep me from around people. It's like they want to keep me isolated, so to speak. It's like they don't want me to have a friend. They don't want me to have a family member who I can trust. It's like every time I bring somebody else in, and it's not new people because I really don't trust nobody. So the few times it's been somebody from my past, but that I just may haven't talked to in a while. But I see jealousy. And so I question what's going on with these people every single time where some weird stuff like this would happen. Is it somebody in the background working their little magic that they do on people? Because I can tell you I've had a lot. Y'all know how that goes. Experience a lot of dark magic, people throwing stuff your way to try to cause certain things. But my thing is, it's no absolutely nobody around me. So how could somebody be jealous who's not giving any effort towards anything? How could somebody be jealous to see me move on to people who seem to be giving some type of effort, to people who seem to want to help me out of a certain situation, when you're sitting in the background just watching me go through stuff? When you're sitting in the background literally just watching me suffer. It's like somebody saying, don't touch this. This is mine. But you want to sit out in the dirt and in the rain and collect dust. It's almost like elf on the shelf type of thing. I want you to sit right there until I'm ready for you. And it don't matter that I caused all these certain things, or I helped with these certain things in your life, you know, as long as you just sit right there and wait for me. I don't know who that is, but I'm waiting to see one of these weird people come up from my past so I can go ahead and let them know to just stay away from me. Especially these couple in particular, that I feel like could be contributing to everything that's went on. The Sagittarius that ruined my car before he left because he thought I was gonna run back to him. My ex-husband who I don't know, y'all. I just got a sneaky little suspicion that they know more than what they know. People sit back and they will watch you from a distance and they do things to try to sabotage you. I see trying to ruin your reputation. But my whole thing is these certain people, I might not have talked to you in a while, but it's like you should know better. You should know better. And it's so annoying that I allow certain people in my energy and then to watch them go from one person to another person. It's like at the beginning you wasn't like this, and now it's this weird type of energy I'm feeling. Um, Especially the one that I've been talking to. After he's gotten very specific with his questions, it's like he was looking for something almost. It's like somebody said something in the background that sent off something in his mind to cause him to ask very specific questions. And I give very specific answers, and I went on and answered it. And that's something that I wouldn't even normally do because I don't allow everybody to get into my business like that. But I think I can trust them. And so I went on and told him, in spite of all these different things that I see in him, all these certain keywords that's being used. I'm like, we can't be that much alike. And so, anyway, um, yeah, I wonder. I wonder what's going on with these people. Besides, we're just talking about people in the community, and it's not really being like a community. That's what I get here. You know, it's a lot of clout chasing here. It's a lot of, I feel like, secret society stuff here. It's a lot of people who listen to, like, it's a lot of people being misled here in the community when it comes to me. And then there are your people who actually know who I am and what kind of energy I bring, and they try to, it's almost like they try to stick under my energy to a certain extent. And so you have the ones who are complete assholes because of whatever it is that they've been told, and you got the ones who know better. And it's only a handful of the ones who know better. Um, Only a handful of them. And they just try to pretend like they don't know what's going on, but they try to be in my energy. Like when I was working for public storage, it's like all at once, a lot of people figure something out, and you can tell by the different reactions that they had that they figure it out. So not only was I getting like a lot of Masons come up to their property, but the people who were there at the property, they all of a sudden wanted to get really close to me. They wanted hugs, you know, they calling me baby girl, and acting like we are the bestest friends. Like, I've been here for years and you've been here for years, and you've only ever came and gone, you know. We have very brief conversations while you paying your bill, and you gone out the door, you know. Now all of a sudden you treat me like I'm your best friend, and you wanting hugs from me, and all kind of weird stuff, you know, stuff like that. And so it's like they are the ones who know. They are the ones who know. And then they are the ones who don't know. And they are being misled, severely misled, by whoever it is they listen to in the background. And so, anyway, yeah, I can't wait to get out of this community. I think I'm just going to end up going somewhere else, you know. Because every time you think you got somebody you can trust, somebody in the background doing some weird shit in the background to try to persuade the person to go another way, even if it's just them sitting behind doing black magic on people. You know, people start off one way, and you can absolutely tell when it's being done. When whatever is being done, you can tell because the energy all of a sudden switch in a person. Their actions all of a sudden change. They interactions with you start being calculated. And so yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm over it. Anyway, especially when it's these so-called celebrities out here. Don't listen to everything y'all hear, y'all. That's but this somebody who famous, whether it's somebody who's just well established here, somebody who just knows a lot of people. You can't listen to everything you hear. Sometimes you got to use your own brain. And I know people don't want you using your own brain when it comes down to certain things because it's easier for them to control you when you don't use your own brain, when you just use their brain, when you just listen to what they tell you to listen to. But I would recommend that people start using their own head when it comes down to making certain judgment calls in life, because people will make you look stupid all because all because they want to have their way with something or with somebody. And so I don't know who this is in the background. I just seen same sex here, Capricorn. I don't know. Could be a man, could be a woman. I don't know who's in the background starting all this information to be all of this. I say information. Somebody could really be out here saying a bunch of stuff. I don't know who's in the background keeping up all of this confusion. But I know you really start to see who people are, what they are about when you watch the way they move. And so yeah, although I've been here in this community going on 12 years, I really felt like community, y'all. Spent the whole time really staying to myself. Then when I start getting out, communicating with people, it immediately goes down the drain. So yeah, when you first come around here, you'll look at it like it's this nice, wholesome place, where there is a healthy amount of people um, from all different ethnicities, whether you'll look at it like it's a very diverse place. Uh, you will look at it as if they support each other around here. But that's not what, looks can be deceiving. I'll say it like that. Looks can be deceiving. So, when you got somebody inside the community who's working hard to make certain people look a certain way, essentially they're not just making one person look a certain way. The person, whoever they may be talking about, spreading the rumors about, they making y'all look a certain way too. So it's not just me who looks like the jackass. It's not just me whose reputation is being ruined. It's not just me. It's y'all too. Because y'all are listening to people you shouldn't be listening to. And at the end, when all is said and done and the truth comes out, then y'all gonna look and feel like jackasses too. And so that's why I would be careful about who I listen to, even if it seems like it's a person in some type of position of power, because they lie too. People cover their ass and try to lie all the time. Um, I know. Um, Job, you would think the supervisors in there would be a certain type of thing, but they weren't. They weren't. They did what they did, and they covered their butt just like everybody else. And they told lies and manipulated stuff on their own, just like everybody else. They fire you from so-called breaking a rule, and then they will turn around and break 10 of them. Matter of fact, they've been a broke 10 of them before they wrote you up about the first thing you did wrong. And so, you know, yeah, when you're surrounded by people like that, you question if you're in the right place or not. And so, wondering if I should even be here. Why was I called to be back here? Um, you want to be around people that are your kind. I was just saying that earlier today, actually thinking that to myself. Not meaning your race, but people who are your kind, people who think for themselves, smart people, educated people, people who believe in injustice being served when people do things wrong, people who know right from wrong, people who don't do anything for clout, people who don't do absolutely anything for money. People who have integrity, people who have some type of morals about themselves. That's the type of people you want to be around. And I've even cut off some family because I seen some things in them that weren't right. You know, your own family start coming at you a certain way when money is involved. When they see that you have the ability to do certain things that they haven't tried to do, they didn't think they were capable of doing in all the 40 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years that they've been here. And now here you come doing something they never imagined you doing, or about to receive something they never imagined you having. Even they will react in ways to let you know that they can't be trusted either. And so over time, I've had to cut off family members because I seen them doing certain things and acting certain ways to let me know that there was some hidden jealousy, some hidden animosity. And before I try to peel it out of you like a child, you can't come to me and talk about it like an adult. And I just rather cut ties from you at the end of the day. And so people I've grown up around, people I've been around for years, I've had to cut ties from. And so over time, that's why I end up, I guess, in a situation where I really have nobody around me. But to allow other people in my space and my energy, and to watch them go from so anxious to be around to almost ghosting me for no reason at all, and then coming back as if nothing ever happened. It's like something's being done. Something's being done, be it spiritually or physically. It's some things being done in the background here. Anyway, we have 42 minutes, y'all. And I noticed it's been absolutely zero people. Like it was like few people came on at the beginning, and it's been zero people on my live, and it make me feel like I'm shadow banded now or something because banned, not banded, because even you know I would at least see certain things. People would at least pop in and out on these lives as I'm watching, and it's been zero people in like 40 minutes. You know, you have a few people on here look like trolls who came on at the beginning, and nobody has been on here since then. So I wonder, is that one of those things where people are about to, where my page is being shadow banned again? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep making these videos. Y'all show up when y'all want to show up. I notice anyway when I'm saying certain things about certain people, when I'm putting too much of the truth out there, all of a sudden zero people watch the videos. That's why a lot of times I don't really trust what goes on. And I'm not trying to like say don't go vote or don't believe in your community or anything, but I'm saying a lot of this stuff out here, it don't be what it seems like it is because there's a lot of spiritual manipulation going on around. And so it would appear that somebody won something fair and square. And the truth is they've just done a bunch of things in the background to manipulate certain things to have their way. And that's why more people should be aware of this whole spiritual thing, of spirituality and what goes on with it, because then they would be able to see things for what it really is and not be fooled. Yeah, not be fooled. Because people have their way of sabotaging people, and people also have their way of doing certain things to make you think you love a person that you really don't love, that you want to be around a person, that you idolize a person. And that's not really the case. You be out here feeling all these different type of ways and not realizing you under some type of spell work. Um, you be out here wondering why somebody careers went to hell and why the hell raisers careers would be up on 10, and that's because it's because of the spell work that's being done. Once we stop hiding and pretending like there is no spell work, once we stop hiding and pretending like there is no dark magic being done, like there aren't curses and hexes being thrown, then we can get down to what's really real. I was watching something from an attorney, and the attorney was asked something about a question of voodoo, and she made a point. Voodoo is in people's religion. There's a lot of spiritual manipulation that goes on in voodoo, a lot of magic being done, a lot of enhancing certain things, a lot of curses being thrown. You can use it for both good or bad. Um, it's just a part of people's religion. And of course, when it comes down to the laws, you can't judge people when it comes down to their choice of religion or the way that they choose to serve certain things. And it just is what it is. And so, my thing is, if it can be a part of certain religions, then why are people walking around pretending as if it don't exist? And furthermore, people look at black magic and voodoo and hexes and curses and stuff, and they think that it's only centered around African cultures or Caribbean cultures, because it's what they do in their religion. But it's a lot of it isn't right here in some of these religions over here. It's just a matter of how you're going to use it. You can either use it to do good things or you can use it to do bad things. You can use it for the positive or you can use it for the negative. And unfortunately, most people choose to use it for the negative. Uh, most people choose to use it for manipulative purposes. And, if we don't want our civil rights to be violated, then we can't judge people off what religions they choose to use. And so if somebody chooses to use black magic, throw hexes, throw curses, it's a part of their religion. You can't say anything. And so why are we pretending like it doesn't exist? Why is it that they don't like when you talk about it? Why is it that people think you're crazy when you talk about it when we know that it's there? Yeah. Anyway, just random thought. This Hierophant here. I don't know what this Hierophant is. It's like the ending of a certain situation here. Um, so it just popped out. This Hierophant here. Captivity. Marriage here. But this could also just be the ending of a cycle here. And I see this could either be money or some type of somebody coming in to tell you something. But this is the ending of a cycle here. So yeah, anyway. Still inheritance. call it delirium here. It's like the ending of a situation here. Somebody could be coming in to tell somebody about I almost feel like revenge, I want to say, that was taken out on somebody here. Somebody could be getting some type of, let's see, is this money or is it information? I did accidentally say information a little while ago when I was talking. Destruction, ruin, soldier here, bravery, man of arms. This could be some type of information here. Maybe not money, but definitely some type of speedy intelligence coming in. It's like somebody telling you about somebody telling you about something someone may have done here in the background to cause you some type of trouble. It's like somebody warring against you, but never letting you know here. This is again, it speaks of spiritual war. Things going on in the background. And this could be things on a physical here. This could be like those people following me around, spreading rumors, telling lies about in places that I go to, trying to make sure people look at me a certain way. I guess trying to make sure I stay again. uh, Trying to make sure I stay isolated. Trying to make sure you have no one you can trust, no one you can depend on here. It's like trying to drive a person crazy by taking away everything you think that helps them to remain sane in a world like this. This is like trying to take everything away like that. It's trying to take people from around you, trying to take your money away from you, playing on things on your mind, like the spiritual things they do to play on your mind, to try to trigger you into acting certain ways, um, try to get you involved or caught up in the system somehow. We watch people get done that way all the time when it comes down to people with certain statuses, people who are out there doing a certain thing for the community. You watch people get blackballed all the time. One minute they're sane and they're doing, I guess, whatever they are told to do. They're easy to control. And then the next minute, they on some type of drugs and their career has gone down the drain. The next minute, they are being exposed for stuff they've been doing for the past 20 years. Like nobody knew about it for the 20 years they've been doing it, and now all of a sudden they know about it. When we know people are seeing for who they are and how they are. Exile tomb here. Bad card. Retreat. You know what's with this tomb? Exile. Somebody here maybe pushed out or something, or It's a success for somebody here, but something's about to be exposed. And I'm guessing that's a good thing. So if you are like me, and they try to get everybody to stop talking to you, when they try to get information on you by dealing with certain people around you, when they try to kill all of your connections you have to certain people. Maybe somebody's about to come in and tell you that. I keep seeing this card. I've pulled it like not purposely and not said anything like 4 or 5 times already. Don't give up here. Don't give up. Because this is the kind of stuff that makes you want to when you see over and over and over again how it's so easy for people to come in and manipulate your life. That's why I wish more people would realize what is going on, how people can easily use dark forces or dark magic or hexes or curses. People do the same thing I do, only, they do spell work, they do things. And it's something that I was starting to get into a while back before they started tearing down everything for me. Was trying to figure out what people do to do spell work because I wanted to be one of those practitioners that you come to when you need to get certain things removed off of you. I want to be those ones you come to for help. I like to help people who's going through stuff. When I see I can be of help to people, that's what I like to do. Because a lot of people out here, they just use things like that for their advantage, and they go to the darker high priest or high priestess around here, and they getting spell work done on people. And so I want to be one of the ones who are actually helping, because the dark ones who's doing the spell work for people, they can't be the same ones you go to have it removed off of you. Somebody that went to them to have it put on you, and now you gonna go to them and give them your money to remove it. Doesn't make any sense. Um, so yeah. Anyway, let me get off here for a while, y'all. I'll be back.